Started with our senior honors night. I'd like to offer a very, very warm welcome to the class of 2017. It is good to have you back here in the front of McCain Chapel. Your seats have been taken by another class until tonight, but it's good to have you here. It's good to have your families here. This is a really fun evening for us and an opportunity for us to really hold up members of this class who have been exemplars of striving and achieving here over a long period of time at Westminster. I know over the next couple of days you're going to hear a lot of people tell you about how proud of yourselves you should be, and I'm one of those people. You all should be proud of yourselves. You all have been remarkable, not only this year, but particularly in the last couple of months of this year, where I think you have really run right through the finish line. And that is not always the case with every senior class, but it certainly has been true for all of you, and it's been impressive. I think the thing that I would offer to you this evening is that even as you're proud of yourselves and rightly proud of yourselves and what you've done, I want you to also be proud of each other. I want you to think for just a moment that, in fact, the accomplishments that will be recognized tonight and the myriad accomplishments that are going to be recognized in other places or have already been recognized are really part of a group effort here at Westminster, because in the end of the day, you all shape each other as you go through this experience of being in school here. You learn together, you shape each other's thoughts, you give each other ideas. I've sat in your classrooms when you have been in those kind of conversations and those light bulbs are going off. I've seen the way that one of you that takes the reins of a game suddenly inspires teammates to try that much harder. In fact, you should, take a great deal of pride in one another. And that is one of the reasons why we bring you together for this evening, because this is an opportunity to hold up a number of individuals, but at the same time, to recognize that we celebrate and honor folks together tonight. Tomorrow we'll be in the same place and we'll pray together and we'll talk together about the kind of quiet moment to reflect on what this experience has meant. And then finally, we'll graduate together as well, and you all will go out together as one class that has deeply influenced one another. And so that is, in fact, what we really take great pleasure in this evening, is not only how proud of each of you we are, but how proud of you we are, or how proud we are of you as a class. And it's a delight to see you back here. I'd like now to ask Wes Jones and Mimi Cooper to come up and offer scripture reading and a prayer.
Now, there are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are varieties of services, but the same Lord. And there are varieties of activities, but it is the same God who activates all of them in everyone. To each is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. To one is given through the Spirit the utterance of wisdom, and to another the utterance of knowledge according to the same Spirit. To another faith by the same Spirit. To another gifts of healing by the one Spirit. To another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another the discernment of spirits, to another various kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. All these are activated by one and the same Spirit, who allots to each one individually just as the Spirit chooses. For just as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of the body, though many, are one body, so it is with us. For in the one Spirit we were all baptized into one body, Jews or Greeks, slaves or free, and we were all made to drink of one Spirit. Indeed, the body does not consist of one member, but of many. If the foot would say, because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body, that would not make it any less a part of the body. And if the ear would say, because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body, that would not make it any less a part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the hearing be? If the whole body were hearing, where would the sense of smell be? But as it is, God arranged the members in the body, each one of them, as he chose. If all were a single member, where would the body be? As it is, there are many members, yet one body. The eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you, nor again the head to the feet. I have no need of you. On the contrary, the members of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable, and those members of the body that we think less honorable we clothe with greater honor, and our less respectable members are treated with greater respect, whereas our more respectable members do not need this. But God has so arranged the body, giving the greater honor to the inferior member, that there may be no dissension within the body, but the members may have the same care for one another. If one member suffers, all suffer together with it. If one member is honored, all rejoice together with it.
Please pray with me. Dear God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for the student, the amazing gifts and talents you have blessed them with, and the ability to celebrate our achievements. We thank you for the opportunities this school has afforded us to share our gifts with the world. We thank you for the support and love of our parents, teachers, and friends who have helped us grow. As we celebrate our accomplishments tonight, help us be mindful of all the gifts and skills you have given us, and help us feel a sense of achievement, even if not recognized. Help us to continue to use our gifts and inspire us to keep learning every day of our lives. As we enter the next phase of our lives, give us direction, purpose, and perseverance. Help us to meet the future with grace, courage, and love. Be with us as we leave this school behind and discover our place in the world. In your name we pray, amen.
One of the great treats of Senior Honors Night is an opportunity to hear from the co-valedictorians of the class. Our first speaker this evening will be Liz Bailey. She is a lover of world languages, particularly of French and Arabic. She fearlessly leads in all that she does, whether that is with student government or in two varsity sports. I'd like all of you to welcome Liz Bailey up here to the stage. Liz, come on up.
All right, hello everybody. First, I would just like to give a big thank you to the whole Westminster community, my friends and classmates, my teachers and advisors, my family, and particularly to Mr. Frappier, without whom I would not be standing on the stage. I would be lying on it, passed out, I think. So I appreciate his help in preparing for this. So we're gathered here tonight to honor our achievements, and there's definitely a lot to celebrate. We could congratulate Owen Ladner for his hilarious jokes every senior homeroom. And we could congratulate Caroline McCutcheon on her amazing puzzling feats in the library. We could particularly recognize Yoon for successfully avoiding ever having a yearbook picture taken in all of high school. Or we could recognize Kit Walker for being louder than the rest of the student section combined. I could personally thank Bennett Porsom for being the star of every assembly. And to anybody here who suggested that I take the mic from him, I'm sorry the alarm went off too soon. I would also like to personally recognize Omari Matthews for all of his attempts to teach me some of the new cool dance moves to no avail. Besides honoring our accomplishments, however, we're here to reflect on our time at Westminster. And I have had a lot of time to think about the 8 years that I've spent on this campus. And one of the most meaningful conclusions that I came to when I thought about my time here was that Westminster has brought me lots of happiness. And I'm not just talking about the happiness that I have when Mr. Morjean tells a somewhat inappropriate joke about the pink pony, or the laughter that I feel when I look at Mr. Dingle's face and he learns that Miss Gonzo never taught us about titrations. I'm also not just talking about the times when Miss Pansula has sent me endless lists of book recommendations, or the thrill that I feel when I get to watch Jimmy dressed as Elvis on stage in Bye Bye Birdie. Instead, I'm talking about a much deeper passion and enthusiasm that I feel thanks to the Westminster environment. And I came to the conclusion that I could attribute much of my happiness to this school, using a framework laid out by one of my favorite authors, Gretchen Rubin, who wrote a book called The Happiness Project. Rubin outlines a couple of splendid truths about happiness, and I've kind of used these as a compass through my time here at Westminster. You can find them scattered throughout the yearbook or in most of my college essays, but her words have definitely had an impact on my life, and so I'm excited to share some of them with you this evening, particularly because I find that they absolutely relate to the Westminster community. So Rubin's first truth is this: To be happy, you have to think about feeling good, feeling bad, and feeling right in an atmosphere of growth. The important part of this manifesto is the atmosphere of growth. If all it took to be happy were a pint of ice cream, we would simply have Flick change its one dessert per week policy, and poof, mission accomplished. However, I've definitely found, and I think most of you have too, if you have maybe spent some extra time memorizing polyatomic ions, memorized a few more lines of Shakespeare, added a couple of more pounds to the bench press, not that I've ever done that, but if you have, then you absolutely know that even if the process might be painful, the feeling that you have once you've accomplished something is pure joy. As Westminster students, we are here not just to celebrate what we've achieved, but to celebrate what we have struggled through and overcome, and all of our growth. And I have found this example time and time again in the class of 2017. When you look at Kate Simmons, who's gone beyond the study of Latin to memorize and learn ancient Greek. When you look at Jack Schlafly, who literally went the extra mile to run cross country in the morning with Mr. Tribble and earn a spot on the state team, as well as practicing football in the afternoons. And you could also look at our teachers, Mr. Batchelor, who goes above and beyond the AP US History curriculum to teach us about current events, and Mr. Monahan, who extends our class beyond just Jan term to send us podcast recommendations months later. I feel that the Westminster community certainly cultivates this type and many other types of growth, and that brings me a lot of happiness. Rubin's next truth is this: one of the best ways to make other people happy is to be happy yourself. And one of the best ways to be happy yourself is to make other people happy. It's a little bit confusing, so I'm going to simplify it at risk of sounding a little bit cliche. But happiness is contagious. And I know this to be true because of the time that I spent in Mr. Lovell's class when he spent 2 full class periods doing a proof on the board and ended it by exclaiming, "Wasn't that so cool?" And our whole class kind of woke up and couldn't help but laugh at his enthusiasm and excitement of his subject. I also know this to be true because of all the times that I walked into the library in the morning to see Margaret Moran, who absolutely loves to wake up early and is jumping for joy because it's 6 a.m. And my drowsy self feels a little bit more happy to be at school. I've also found this to be true in Mr. Brighty's Hamlet reenactments, which he passionately does, and the whole class chuckles at, even if we don't necessarily understand the jokes. And most notably, whenever anybody brings the leftover Bible study donuts to our math class, the bringer ultimately feels so much joy at looking at everybody else's excitement for some more breakfast. The Westminster community is full of contagious laughter and joy. And Rubin's third truth is that the days are long, but the years are short. This paradox never ceases to amaze me in its accuracy. The mornings spent waking up before the sun and the nights spent going to sleep when my parents are waking up has definitely led me to believe that the day in the life of a Westminster student can seem endless. However, I think that you can all agree with me when I say that my time at Westminster has flown by. It feels like just yesterday that I was very stressed and nervous for my starring role in the large ensemble of the Christmas pageant, or as silly girl number 3 in Beauty and the Beast. It also seems like just yesterday that we were painting the walls and ceiling of the middle school as an aquarium and dancing, stomping, and clapping to the Club Jimmy song, or that we were walking through Love Hall dressed as Greek gods and goddesses in the parade. Do you remember the time when we were forced to dance for hours to Lightning Strikes the Heart in front of the whole administration at the Public Purpose Fair? Together, we have been through serving on the Sevens and Wednesday morning prayer groups. We've been threatened with think sheets and LOPs. We've hid on lockdown from a leaf blower thief, and we've rowed canoes through the flooded football field. We've eaten dinner rolls and played soccer foursquare like our lives depended on it. The Westminster community cultivates and has always cultivated these happy memories. So, when we move on to our college campuses next fall, we should remember some of these splendid truths. And I hope that our new homes provide us with an atmosphere of further growth, discovery, and intensity. I hope that we meet people whose passion and excitement bubbles over into our own lives and that our joy radiates into the lives of others. And I hope that we make new memories and have many long days and nights, and that we take each second for what it is, because we know that the years will go by very quickly. Most of all, I hope that our new schools bring me just as much happiness as Westminster has brought me. Thank you.
And now a round of applause for our co-valedictorian, Liz Bailey. Thank you, Liz. I'd like now to invite Mitchell Ostro to the stage. He's a devoted cross-country runner and a tutor of math and trombone within off-campus service groups such as Odyssey, Create Your Own Dreams, and the Atlanta Music Project. Please welcome Mitchell to the stage.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Man, if you told me a couple years ago that I'd be forced to speak in front of 400 plus people, I probably would have purposely failed some tests just to get out of it. I want to once again thank all of the parents for guiding us up to this point. We're incredibly grateful for all your hard work and sacrifices you've made for us. Anyway, I bet you're all hoping I don't start this speech with something cliche like, as I look out upon you, or when I was first asked to give this speech. Jack Kalin actually told me he'd beat me up if I said that. He's not actually here because he had to go win his second state championship in this thing called pole vault. So Jack, if you're watching, we'll settle this later. Now, I'd like to take us back to the beginning of freshman year during orientation. I sat in the very last pew in Mr. Smith's homeroom next to Harrison Hall and John Sheehan, all the way down there. So that dude in the back, like right at the end, that's him. I remember that day because I tripped up the stairs by Campbell as soon as I got out of the car. So it wasn't the best start to high school. I wondered then what these next 4 years of my life would be. A mixture of curiosity, hope, and fear. I'm sure most of us experienced at that point. I think those are the same emotions we're feeling right now. Because although we're 4 years older, we're gonna be freshmen again soon. I wasn't new freshman year. I came in 6th grade. But the transition to high school was still jarring, especially with the new block schedule. I can't tell you how many times I walked into Ask You thinking it was Robinson, or showed up in my 3rd period class when it was really 6th period. But we learn from our mistakes, and we get used to change. It took until the very end of freshman year to get my schedule down. And of course, I had to relearn it again sophomore year. But it was easier after that. So I'm not worried because I know we'll be fine next fall, just like we were in high school. Honestly, I'm not sure why I'm up here. All this title means is I'm good at taking tests. I've never given a speech before. The only time I've been in front of a crowd this large was when my jazz band, Citrus Fruit and the Tibetan Funk Orchestra, yes, that is a real name, played for Diamond Day, and most of that for me was standing awkwardly while Cyrus and Oliver Babb crushed their solos. Yet, here we are. So in the name of trying to give an inspirational and humorous speech, which I'm sure I'm failing miserably at, here's another one of my high school memories. I ran on the cross-country team all 4 years of high school. Those seasons were the best of times, but they were also the worst of times. Believe it or not, I never actually enjoyed getting up at 6 a.m. on Saturdays so I could run until I puked. But it was mostly good. But during September and October, we'd often run our workouts around the cheerleading team as they practiced by the baseball fields. Somehow, they managed to arrange their schedule so that they were outside whenever we had our hardest workouts. So all the guys on the team would be exhausted, sweat dripping everywhere, half the team would be shirtless, and we'd have to run past those girls 5 or 6 times. But we kept finding new strength and kept running faster, hoping to impress them, as if this was 5th grade, when the fastest boy got all the girls. Shout out Jack Schlafly. Of course, they didn't notice us, but we had fun somehow. To me, cross-country is a metaphor for high school, or even for life itself. As Tribble says, sometimes on the trail, you might run into a clown on stilts with a machine gun, and you just have to keep running. You have to expect anything. He's also said the same thing about squirrels with hand grenades, but you get the point. If a 5K is a decent analogy for life, we're barely off the starting line. We have such a long way to go and so much to do. And once we walk across that stage on Saturday, we'll truly be moving on. But right now, we're at a weird stage in our lives. We're expected to leave behind almost everything we know. We're supposed to have prepared for this moment for at least 4 years, but still, as Smack would say, it's hard to handle. No, okay. That was the band that Max Motley and James Dickey had. Okay. We're expected to achieve success and never have a bad day. But of course, that's not possible. Yet at the same time, we've met so many of the high expectations that have been set for us. As we've gone through this amazing, horrifying journey that is high school, I've seen incredible growth from every student in this class of 2017. We've learned how to love challenge, but more importantly, to lead change. We've struggled together, we've won state championships together, and we've created many priceless memories together. I want to pause here to give another special shout out to both tennis teams for their state championships last weekend. As well as track's state meet that is going on right now through Saturday, both soccer teams' state championship games on Friday, and the boys lacrosse state game on Saturday. So, it's pretty good. We've been taught so much that will continue with us into college and beyond. For instance, Dr. Stewart taught me that doing what you love is always worth it, even though it might involve a lot of sweat. You knew it was coming. Mr. Dingle and Miss Sconzo showed me that you can make kids suffer and somehow they'll still enjoy your class. Dr. Slack taught me that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But Mr. Vukovic taught me nothing. Because he wasn't my teacher. And Armand taught me how to pronounce the name of this school, although he'll probably yell at me later because I'm messing it up. We've grown so much, we probably can't even recognize our freshman selves. We've grown thanks to the amazing community that Westminster provides. We've become almost as mature as Mikkel was in 8th grade at Blue Ridge. But just as we've grown thanks to this school, Westminster has grown during our time. We saw the coming and going of meatless Mondays. Thank God. We were the first class to receive laptops and the first class to be yelled at by Mr. Jones for using them to put our phone numbers on Google Buzz. We saw the old logo disappear and a riot almost started. We changed rivals from Love It to BT and on to Pace. We haven't been on the campus for 40-something years like Mr. Diamond, but he's an honorary member of the class of 2017 as he leaves with us. So thank you, Mr. Diamond. We lost Dr. Clarkson, but gained our excellent headmaster, Mr. Chief Keith Evans. We got a new principal this year who's already done such an amazing job, so please give it up for Ms. Trask. And we've done some very alarming things that I'm not allowed to talk about, but will surely become a part of our class's legacy. But most importantly, we've received a world-class education here. Or at least a world-class ability to write papers the night before they're due. I actually finished this like 20 minutes before, just so it applies. My mom has some inspirational quotes around our house, and I wanted to share one of my favorites. It's on a sign we keep in our porch that has 3 different colored chickens on it, because like my mom's the crazy chicken lady or whatever. The quote says, "We're here for a good time, not a long time." It's also, coincidentally, a lyric sung by street poet and philosopher Drake. It means life is too short to live conservatively. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And that's what college, and I think the future in general, is all about. So don't be surprised if I come back to a reunion sometime in the future where I've adopted the Chris McCandless lifestyle. You know, full beard, crazy waist-length hair, call myself Sabretooth. Yes, Mr. Bathura, I know I just stole your nickname from Max Coughlin, wherever you are. I don't know where you are. I also want to dedicate this speech to my father. He's had an incredible impact on my life, and I wouldn't be who I am today without him. So, as my history teacher last year, Dr. Edwards, used to say, "Why is this important?" Or "so what?" and you know, all of those phrases. It's important because new situations can be intimidating. You're looking around, and it's all scary and different, but meeting them head on, charging right into them like a bull, that's how we grow as people. That's what we did in high school, and that's what we're going to do in college. All of you, and all of you, have incredible gifts and talents that will help you, even those who mistakenly believe that they don't. I'm expecting great things from you, class of 2017, and I know you won't disappoint. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitchell. Mitchell Ostro, your co-valedictorian. Beautiful job. I want to also recognize our two salutatorians, one a celebrated violinist and epilepsy researcher, and another a leader within Westminster's Thespian Society at his Temple's youth group, Christine, Lou, and Josh van der Eerden. Christine and Josh, come on up, our salutatorians. I'd like to now call Jeff Anderson, Blue and Gold Officer, to present the Academy appointment for the United States Naval Academy.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Anderson, and I am the Blue and Gold Officer for Westminster. It is my distinct pleasure to have the opportunity today to recognize the significant honor Avery Rhodes has earned by receiving an appointment to the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. This year, Avery was one of about 16,500 students from throughout the nation who applied for approximately 1,200 appointments to the Naval Academy's class of 2021. The admissions process is unique and requires each student to apply for and receive a nomination, most commonly from their congressman or senator, complete a thorough medical exam, and successfully pass a physical fitness evaluation in addition to the usual submission of transcripts, recommendations, and essays. Screening is thorough, with a focus on well-rounded individuals who have demonstrated leadership potential and a willingness to accept responsibility, as well as outstanding academic credentials. An appointment to the United States Naval Academy is equivalent to a full four-year scholarship, including all tuition, room and board, medical and dental benefits, and a monthly midshipman salary. After completing the four-year curriculum at the Naval Academy, students receive a Bachelor of Science degree in one of 24 majors and earn a commission as an officer in the United States Navy or Marine Corps. Avery is destined to join a very noble cause, to serve in the greatest Navy the world has ever known. He has chosen to be challenged, to compete against exceptional peers, and give more of himself than he ever dreamed of. He has chosen to be groomed as a leader to protect this wonderful nation so all of our hopes and dreams can be fulfilled. In the words of John Paul Jones, the father of our Navy, the stature of our homeland is no more than the measure of ourselves. Our job is to keep her free. Our will is to keep the torch of freedom burning for all. To this solemn promise, we call on the young, the brave, the strong, and the free. Heed my call. Come to the sea. Come sail with me. Westminster should be very proud of Avery's achievements, and on behalf of the Superintendent of the United States Naval Academy, it is my pleasure to present this certificate of appointment to the Naval Academy's class of 2021 to Avery Rhodes.
The Forensics Award goes to a student who led the debate team with substantial contributions to the research efforts and an excellent competitive record. This senior is a rare 4-time qualifier to the Tournament of Champions, reaching the elimination rounds there 3 times, including the semifinals this year. This April, he won the NDCA National Championship, and he has been nationally ranked in the top 7 pairs for 2 years, among many other accomplishments. This student has been a pillar of the debate team since 9th grade and has served as a mentor to younger students, not only by teaching them, but also by debating with them. Please join me in congratulating Harrison Hall.
Good evening. I am Kate Morgans, presenting the Performing Arts Awards. Our first award is the Band Leadership Award that is presented each year to the senior, demonstrating outstanding musicianship, leadership, and dedication to the instrumental music program at Westminster. The honoree for 2017 represents the best of Westminster in his rigorous discipline, technical mastery, and soulful approach to music making. As co-president of the band program, he has led our concert, jazz, solo, and ensemble divisions, as well as winning auditions in the prestigious Georgia Music Educators Association All-State Band and the Atlanta Youth Wind Symphony. The Westminster Band Leadership Award goes to saxophonist Cyrus Farouk. The Frank Boggs Award for Outstanding Vocal Achievement. This award is named for Westminster's revered choral director and honors a senior whose performances in choral and solo repertoire have been exceptional and whose dedication to the choral program has been noteworthy. This year's recipient is a complete musician, possessing a mature, lovely, and promising soprano voice. She is equally at home on the classical concert stage, at the piano, leading a WAC rehearsal, or in her academic work, solidifying her music theory knowledge base. She is a hard worker, is highly respected by her peers, and is an absolute joy to make music with. Please join me in congratulating Rachel Drury. The Theater Arts Awards recognize 2 students who have made exceptional contributions to theater arts at Westminster. Our first recipient is what we call a triple threat: a brilliant singer, a dynamic dancer, and a meticulous actress. A thespian officer, she dives into marketing campaigns for our productions with tenacity, creativity, humor, and enthusiasm. Her experience in Westminster productions, thespian competitions, and summer and college prep programs give her maturity and confidence in front of an audience. She walks onto the stage, and she is captivating. Our second recipient is the president of the Westminster Players and received superior scores at the Georgia Thespian Conference. She sets a high bar for impeccable behavior in rehearsals, demanding that others work to her level of excellence. She holds a huge range of talent in a variety of roles, including a British matriarch and a vivacious young starcatcher. We will dearly miss her leadership next year. Congratulations to Allie Jaffe and Anna Harrison. The Norma Allen Gabeline Orchestra Award is presented to the Chamber Orchestra Senior, who best exemplifies the pursuit of excellence in orchestral studies and performance. This year's recipient has been a member of the Chamber Orchestra for 4 years, has served as the orchestra's concertmaster, and has distinguished herself as a member of the Atlanta Symphony Youth Orchestra and the Georgia Music Educators Association All-State Orchestra. In recognition of her unrelenting quest for excellence, artistry, and musical leadership, I am pleased to present the Norma Allen Gabeline Orchestra Award to Christine Liu.
The 3 Senior Art Awards are presented to students who exemplify excellence in different media within the visual arts. They make their inner voice manifest and realize their visions in ways that encourage the rest of us to join them in a world of possibility. The recipient for drawing and painting is fiercely devoted, organized, and persistent. She is a leader who inspires others by example. She works for extended periods with little interruption and is able to turn these times of sustained mental focus into gorgeously intricate works of pen on paper. While excelling at detail, she is also able to make the kinds of bold decisions and risks in her work that inspire younger students. The recipient for 3D design is a robot whisperer in the studio. Talented in numerous areas of design, he dissects and remakes ordinary inventions into strange and fascinating surreal objects. With his work, he is able to simultaneously explain how things work while also conveying the magic and mystery behind modern inventions. Expect to see his industrial designs improving the world in the near future. The recipient for digital imaging is a photographer who captures the inner workings of the human mind. She manipulates space and light to her will, combining a strong mastery over her medium of choice with a deeply intense personal voice. Her avant-garde work is contrasted sharply with the warmest and most approachable demeanor on display every day in the studios. With great pleasure, I present these Senior Art Awards to Clara Liu, Bill Huang, and Grace Weston.
The commitment by our students to their sport is immense, and tonight we will honor those seniors who have committed themselves to the Westminster athletic program with their year-round 3-season participation. So as I call your name, please come to the stage and be recognized and receive your 3-season athlete banner. Alex Clark, Caroline Cravens, Zay Malcolm, Madison Malloy, Margaret Moran, and Mary Tucker. Our most outstanding senior female athlete for the graduating class of 2017 earned a remarkable 12 varsity letters, 4 each in softball, swimming, and lacrosse. Described by her coaches as incredibly unselfish, hardworking, and a consummate team player, she served as a 3-sport captain during her senior year. In softball, she was elected first team all-region in 2015 and 2016. In swimming, she was a 12-time state meet relay qualifier, a finalist 8 of those times, and a 5-time individual qualifier, a 2-time finalist. In lacrosse, she was a 3-year starter, leading her team to yesterday's state semifinal finish. It's a pleasure to introduce the most outstanding senior female athlete for 2017, Alex Clark. Our most outstanding senior male athlete, and he walks pretty slow, so he might want to start coming up here right now, earned 13 varsity letters during his time as a Wildcat, 4 each in football and basketball, 3 in track and field, and 2 in soccer. A 4-year starter in football, he was named All-State on 2 occasions, All-Region on 3, and was the 3A Player of the Year in 2015. He holds school records in rushing, all-purpose yards, and career touchdowns. Point guard and team captain in basketball and 2-sport athlete in the spring sports of soccer and track and field, he's described as a gifted athlete with a tremendous amount of skill and innate ability, but more importantly, he is humble, always willing to sacrifice personal goals for the higher good of the team. He plans to attend the University of Pennsylvania next year and continue his football career. It's a pleasure to introduce the most outstanding male athlete for 2017, Zay Malcolm.
The Goizueta Foundation Modern and Classical Languages Awards. The winners of this award are not only outstanding foreign language students, but they have also reached beyond the classroom to broaden their individual perspectives and make their own contributions to international understanding. Through their initiative and leadership, they have demonstrated that knowledge of other cultures provides a valuable reference point for appreciating and expanding one's own life, while also finding meaning and purpose in the larger world. In recognition of their achievements and in appreciation of their promise, we honor the following seniors. For French, Jolisa Brown. For Latin, Kate Simmons. And in Spanish, Eliza Miller.
The George R. Lamplugh Excellence in American History Award. This award honors Dr. Lamplugh and his 37 years of superb service to Westminster and the History Department. It is presented to the outstanding senior student in Advanced Placement American History. For her keen analysis of complicated historical issues and her dedication to the study of American society and culture through the centuries, this year we honor Cardi Worthman.
The Gwendolyn M. Clegard Memorial Award. During her 40 years of exemplary service to Westminster, Gwen Clegard was a revered teacher, department chair, grade chair, college counselor, and associate principal. Gwen's imprint on Westminster continues to this day. The winner of this year's Clegard Award is a creative young woman, always reading, always writing. As a writer, she throws herself into her work, shaping ideas, stories, even novels with artistic precision. As a student, she asks questions and offers insights that energize the classroom, but it is not only her work that distinguishes her. She has also played a vital role in the growth of Westminster's Writing Center, where she has offered hours of assistance to other young writers. For her gifts and contributions, we are delighted to recognize Max Albert Deitch. The David T. Lauderdale Jr. Memorial Award. An authentic Renaissance man, Mr. Lauderdale was a teacher, college counselor, and coach. He had a passion for scholarship, literature, and athletics, and the wisdom to take none too seriously. He expected students to know how to think and laugh and listen, and shared his wicked sense of irony with all who knew him. The recipient of this year's Lauderdale Award is a young man known for his sincerity and kindness. Ever ready to jump into a discussion or new project, he has enriched many an English class at Westminster. He challenges peers and teachers alike to go beyond simple answers to achieve deeper understanding of literature. This engagement has led him to not only academic success, but also to sustained contribution to ethical issues far beyond the pages of a book. The English department is delighted to honor this special young man, Joshua Pinckney. The Leela Mason Venable Eldridge Memorial Award. A graduate of the North Avenue Presbyterian School, Mrs. Eldridge established awards honoring the senior boy and girl who have shown the highest quality of scholarship in the humanities. This year's girls recipient has impressed her teachers with her rigorous attention to detail and her sophisticated understanding of historical and literary texts. Able to develop mature arguments and sharp analysis, she delves into text to develop exceptional insights. Even as her work distinguishes her, she remains attentive to her peers' opinions and ideas, engaging with them in meaningful study. The boys recipient is a versatile student whose work is disciplined and creative. Because of his quirky sense of humor and keen mind, his contributions in class are unpredictable and smart. His solid grasp of historical issues and appreciation for literary nuance make his work precise and original. Whether writing creative nonfiction, historical analysis, or a byline editorial, his voice is strong and distinctive. We are delighted to honor Maddie Turner and John Sheehan.
The Robert M. Sims Math and Science Award was established in 1993 in recognition of Bob Sims, who gave Westminster 36 years of dedicated service as an administrator, a chemistry teacher, a soccer coach of national distinction, and a friend to many of us. Each year in his honor, the math and science faculties honor 2 senior students who have distinguished themselves by both choice and performance in the most challenging math and science courses, and who exemplify the qualities that Bob Sims both admired and respected. We honor our first recipient for her award-winning research in seizure prediction and epileptic biomarkers. A 2016 winner of the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, she is also a published author in peer-reviewed journals. We honor our second recipient for his technical and leadership skills in IT and coding. He is the Director of Code and Robotics and helped to lead the Wirecats to a fifth-place finish at the World Championships, the most successful finish of the Westminster robotics team in history. The Math and Science Department would like to honor Christine Liu and Omari Matthews.
The Branham Award is presented each year to the senior girl who has made great progress during her upper school years. Since freshman year, the following senior not only accepted, but tackled any challenges she faced in the classroom. Outside the school day, whether through the medium of graphic design, as an anchor with WCAT, or Spanish language translations, she discovered and delved into areas where she expressed curiosity and joy in connecting with others. It is my pleasure, because I can attest personally to this, to present the Branham Award to Vicki Zhang. The Barry Senior Award goes to a young man whose upper school career has demonstrated qualities of intellectual achievement, high character, academic progress, and a positive attitude. Quietly determined, independent, and unassuming, this student has cheerfully set his own personal goals to become his best. Although he is not one to seek the spotlight, faculty have noticed and complimented this student for his efforts and for the good he seeks to instill in our community. He earned the ranking of Eagle Scout early during his time in the upper school, and he has striven to contribute positively to our choral program, to his cross-country team, to classroom discussions, and to the community at large when he plays with his band on Broyles Field. We are honored to present this year's Barry Senior Award to Bradley Jones.
This student embodies what Dr. Presley referred to as wholesome intensity. She pours boundless enthusiasm and relentless diligence into every paper, project, test, quiz, or other assignment, no matter how small and regardless of subject matter. She serves up that same wholesome intensity in her extracurricular activities, from cheerleading to the lacrosse field, FCA, and service corps, representing our school well as an admission ambassador, and by doing hundreds of hours of service every year, both on and off campus. She is an inspiration, a credit to your class, and to our school. It is my honor to present this award to Christina Dalton.
The young man receiving this award served as the project manager for the Westminster robotics team that finished as a top 5 alliance at the 2017 World Championships. He's a quiet leader who leads by example. His teammates find him honest, trustworthy, and selfless. His friendly personality and willingness to help others contributed to the ease in which he built strong relationships with his coaches, teammates, and other robotics teams across the country and the world. I am pleased to announce that this year's boy recipient of the Dean's Award is Ben Barber.
The Vernon S. Broyles Jr. Christian Leadership Award. This award honors the memory of one of the founding fathers of Westminster. As senior minister of North Avenue Presbyterian Church, Dr. Broyles was a guiding and supportive influence in the transition from the old to the new, as he laid the groundwork for the establishment of Westminster as it is today. He served as chairman of the Board of Trustees from the inception of Westminster until his retirement in 1970. These two students have contributed to Westminster in all aspects of the school. Each of their greatest contributions has been through their Christian leadership. Both role model how to love all students of the school through compassion and caring for others. The girls' recipient leads through her enthusiasm for life and her joyful disposition in all situations. Her faith influences her actions in the classroom, around campus, and as she competes in track and cross country. The boys' recipient leads by serving in the classroom, at the school, and on the athletic field. His faith is shown in the joyful presence that he carries with his friends, classmates, and fellow competitors. It is with great pleasure that I present the Vernon S. Broyles Jr. Christian Leadership Award to Ellen Buchanan and Jack Schlafly.
The President's Volunteer Service Award is presented by the President's Council on Service and Civic Engagement through the Points of Light Foundation to recognize those students who have devoted 100+ hours to volunteering in their communities and whose volunteer time has been tracked and certified by both Westminster and the Points of Light Foundation. This annual award recognizes individual students' dedication to volunteer service and signifies that they have served their community and their country with distinction. This year, we had 12 upper school students receive this award, including one member of the senior class. This student has a true passion for service and has been involved in Service Corps, Community Service Club, the Giving Point Institute, and co-founded his own nonprofit to equip underserved young people around the globe with reading, learning, and life resources. We are honored to recognize this year's senior recipient of the President's Volunteer Service Award, Edward Holliday. The Community Service Award. The Community Service Award recognizes a member of the senior class who has reached out to help others by volunteering in the community and serving as a role model for others of how to make a difference in society. A few adages from His Holiness the Dalai Lama certainly apply to this award winner. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. For her leadership and vision in Westminster's Service Corps and the Drew Charter Health Outreach Program, her compassion, and her tremendous servant's heart, we are pleased to recognize Lexi Young.
the Head of Upper School Award. Whether it's with tools, a medical kit, or other supplies in his truck, this young man is ready to help anyone at any time. An integral part of our school's varsity football team, for which he was featured as Athlete of the Week and given an end-of-season award for his dedication and work ethic, this recipient is compassionate with his Bible study members, loyal to his friends and family, and hardworking with his studies and desire to study medicine. His abiding faith sustains and grounds him, and we are a better school due to his presence on campus. I met this young man on my very first visit to Westminster, and I am so proud to extend the Head of Upper School Award tonight to Will Miller. Croft Family Service and Fellowship Award. The Croft family, in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Edward S. Croft, Jr. and Ms. Sarah Croswell Croft, class of '73, presents a Service and Fellowship Award to the graduating senior girl and boy who best exemplify the ideals of personal integrity, strength of character, selfless service, a positive and upbeat attitude, a zest for life and learning, and true fellowship with their classmates and other members of the school community. The recipients are chosen from a list of candidates nominated by their classmates. This year, we're pleased to honor Julia Grady and Miles Hudson. The Westminster Spirit Award. Established by the class of 1999 as a symbol of its exceptional spirit and voted on every year by the members of the senior class, this award honors two students who have celebrated their peers in all of their endeavors, providing extraordinary support and encouragement to them. By a vote of the class of 2017, the recipients of the Spirit Award are Kit Walker and Bennett Porson. I'd now like to ask Alexis Fisher and Jack Amerson to come forward for the presentation of the senior gift.
The class of 2017 is excited to honor Scoot Diamond with this year's senior class gift. The 2017 senior class gift will support two causes that are important to our class. One half of our gift will provide financial aid for Westminster upper school students for needs above and beyond tuition. These are things like textbooks, prom, athletics, extracurriculars, college application costs, and other expenses. This gift will help our fellow Wildcats take advantage of the full Westminster experience, regardless of means.
The other half of our gift will support the community service program's efforts around food insecurity in the Atlanta community. Our hope is that a future senior class will continue the work of the class of 2017 to support those who struggle to feed themselves and their families.
Well, to the whole class, thank you very much on behalf of not only Mr. Diamond, who I know would love to come up here and thank you himself, but also on behalf of all those students who will benefit from your thoughtfulness. And so we're very, very grateful to all of you. Several awards that I will now close with. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution Cup. This young lady is an extraordinary leader who possesses admirable initiative and who seeks to leave a positive impact on our campus. She has devoted much energy into student government, a role she sought immediately after joining us in the 9th grade. She shows a commitment to service, rallying the entire grade to work with nonprofits such as Meals of Hope and Our Daily Bread, a cross-country captain and a head editor for both the Byline and Embryo. She has left a legacy of student leadership at Westminster. With pride and appreciation, we give the Atlanta Journal-Constitution Cup to Clara Liu. The Thurza S. Askew Nobility Award. The former principal of the North Avenue Presbyterian School, Thurza S. Askew, was a model of nobility, service, leadership, and devotion to ideals, dignity, and courage. Bold, caring, and creative, this student has carried with her an admirable and unwavering concern for global and social issues. She has invited members of our community to consider their opinions and, importantly, their solutions regarding these complex problems. Proud of her heritage, she has shown tenacity, courage, and resilience as a leader in helping her peers broaden their horizons and to become more understanding and inclusive. She is equally comfortable in leading our Hispanic Heritage Month assemblies as she is volunteering selflessly. She will make the world around her a better place. It is with great pleasure that we present this award to Michelle Bibiano. The Judith A. Smith Citizenship Award. This award, named for Judy Smith, the celebrated Dean of Girls and French teacher of 35 years, recognizes the senior girl whose presence has enriched the school with her honor, service, courage, and leadership. This fall, we heard the students' insightful remarks at the National Honor Society ceremony, and the pride she took in being part of this class has remained inspiring throughout the year. She holds a genuine desire to be engaged on and off campus and has done so as a cross-country captain, former All-State violinist, and Georgia Aquarium volunteer. With our relatively new chapter of Circle of Women, she has inspired underclassmen to take up the cause of considering increased access to education for young women around the world. With pride and appreciation, we honor Florida Huff. The James G. Patton Citizenship Award. This award encompasses honor, service, courage, and leadership, all characteristics epitomized by James G. Patton, teacher, coach, and dean of students at Westminster for 38 years. Incredibly polite, humble, and empathetic, this student looks for the common good and gives his absolute best in all ways. A lead admissions ambassador, vice chair of the United Way's Leadership Board, varsity track captain, and member of the Honor Council, this student has carried zero qualms about setting a high bar academically while jumping into the life of the school as a new 9th grader. Giving back is a second nature to this young man who has committed coaching hours to the Fuji soccer team, a startup youth league for recent immigrants. I am pleased to announce that this year's recipient of the James G. Patton Citizenship Award is Roman Bacchetta. the Frances Isabel Outler Memorial Award. This award, named for a highly respected English teacher and college counselor, honors the senior girl who has shown excellence in scholarship, service, responsibility, and character. Faculty have described this student as wonderful in every way and one of the best students I've ever taught, helping to establish a grade-wide service project of packing 10,000 meals. She has volunteered in many capacities. She's also been very active with student ambassadors, the debate team, 2 varsity sports, one of which she served as a captain, and Girls, our gender equality discussion group. Her service to the school and her role as co-chair of student council was a natural extension of the leadership that emerged from having served 3 years as class president or vice president. With great pleasure, we present the Frances Isabel Outler Memorial Award to Liz Bailey. The Richard L. Hull Memorial Award. The Richard L. Hull Memorial Award is presented to the senior boy who has contributed the most to all phases of school life. This year's recipient is an outstanding student who has been praised for his inquisitive mind, razor-sharp critical thinking skills, and a genuine desire to learn. His self-discipline and sense of independence are highly regarded, as he is known for maintaining calm and even-temperedness in the face of challenges. He credits his Westminster trip to Mount Kenya Academy with helping him to develop his philosophy and outlook on life. His humor and grace will be missed as he leaves behind leadership roles as a discipline council prefect and a leading member of our music program. With great pleasure, we present the Richard L. Hull Memorial Award to Cyrus Farouk. At this time, I'd like to ask Noah Weinstein to come forward for our closing prayer.
Considering we are about to go on one of the longest and strangest trips of life, I thought the traveler's prayer would be fitting. May it be your will, Lord our God and the God of our ancestors, that you lead us toward peace, guide our steps toward peace, and make us reach our desired destination of life, gladness, and peace. May you rescue us from the hand of every foe, ambushed along the way, and from all manner of punishments that assemble to come to earth. May you send blessings in our handiwork, and grant us grace, kindness, and mercy. In your eyes and in the eyes of all who see us, may you hear the sound of our humble requests, because you are God who hears prayer requests. Blessed are you, Lord, who hears our prayers.
Thank you for that beautiful prayer, Noah. I'd like to offer one more round of applause for our award recipients tonight. Also, a reminder to our recipients and their families to meet with our donors and honored guests in the library so that you can get to meet each other and have your pictures taken. We have cookies and punch in the foyer. Recycle those programs if you're not going to save them, and let's come together and enjoy the rest of this beautiful evening. Thank you very much.